you're doing it. What does that mean? Weight.
Yeah.
How much weight? So sometimes we want to play with a lot of weight, right? When I was playing fortissimo, I'm talking about arm weight. So I was close to the bridge, I was using a lot of arm weight. But then when I did the other thing, when I was up here, you see how I'm using very little weight. So we have control of that. And many different kinds of weight. A little bit more weight, very deep weight, very light weight, and all the things in between. Yeah. And then there's one more thing that we can do to make our different sounds.
Speed more.
Speed. Yeah. So those are the three things. Very important. So you need to always think of, I think every day, every piece I play, every phrase I make, what am I doing with my bow? How am I shaping? I always want music to have shape. You know, Pablo Casals, the famous cellist, always talked about music. It never should be this way. No matter what, there's always something happening in the music. It's taking us somewhere on a journey or a shaping of a phrase, and we have to make that happen. So I missed that in what you were doing. There are technical things we can work on, but I want you to think more about that. Tone color. I have a very good friend, cellist in the States, who, with his students, he says, okay, it's very methodical. And when he told me that what he does, I thought he was a little crazy, but I think it makes a lot of sense. He numbers. So down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1 is close to the bridge. 5 is way up here. Then he numbers weight. Okay? So 1A is lots of weight. B is a little less weight. C is less, medium, or lighter, and D is, or E, whatever you want to do. So there's you have an idea of what you can do. And as you're playing your piece, you can say, well, this is very intense, so I'd like to be, it's fortissimo, espressivo. So I'm going to be 1A. And then when I have now I'm going to be 2D, So you have a big range. Okay, so that's my lecture on tone color. Now, how does it relate to your piece? We can talk about that. So what is the dynamic in the beginning? Mezzo forte. I thought it sounded like piano.
Okay.
So I want you to get a little bit more weight. Where would you like to be in your contact point? Give me a number. 3. 3 sounds perfect. Good. And let's say weight. A, B, C, D. C. Okay. D or C, something like that. That sounds good. So now we know where we are. And what are the notes here in the beginning? It's an arpeggio. Okay. So we need to find the Let me hear your first couple notes. We should talk about arm weight, because this is something that you're missing a little bit. Now, when I say arm weight, some people they think, okay, I need to get my arm weight down here. It's not really that kind of weight. It is. You don't want to be lifted. You don't want to be raising. You're a little raised. You want to feel a certain balance to get our sound. I like to think of this balance. It's a lot like, how a bridge works. You know what a bridge is? Like the bridge that we crossed over to get here up by the river. A bridge is not like this. If a bridge was like this, what would happen? Yeah, the middle there's no strength, right? It just collapses. Bridge is an arch. You have a pillar here. You have this arch, pillar here. That's what gives it its strength. So it's very, very similar to on the cello. So when I put my arm here for the weight, there's weight, but I also have this arch. My fingertips are one pillar, my elbow is here, and I have this arch. But I don't have to come from above. This is pressing. So you want to get, that's all I have is I have this arch. Here There it is. So, see if you can show me your arch. There's a sound. That's already so much better. You were a little bit fuzzy in your arm weight, so I wasn't getting enough core. It's very important to think about that. And it's not about pressing. We don't need to press the string. All we need to do is make it ring. That's all we're trying to do. If you press, you get that sound. Sometimes I say you need more sound, and then somebody starts pressing. No, you need more pull of the sound, pull of the string. You want to pull it this way. And then when you go up, you spin it this way. So now I want you to play mezzo forte sound in the very beginning. Just play the first phrase. You get better, so much better. That was a core sound. I like that sound a lot. Did you like that sound?
Yes.
More interesting? Yes. Good. And then what is the dynamics? How would you like to shape it? This phrase. Do the notes just stay there, or is it?
This note, I like to
Go to that note?
yes, and I'm not sure it should louder or
Softer?
yes.
Yeah, okay, so I think that note, I'm going to suggest that you use more bow speed and that it goes through the phrase. So the phrase, it's a very long line. So you want to avoid this, right? Now that we have our contact point, what if we think it? See how the speed of the bow makes that thing happen? You want to avoid not using the bow speed. So I'd like you to play whatever the notes are. I can play these two notes for me and see if you can use a little bit of bow here, and at the end use more bow. Better. Yeah, and I think you could get even more sound. Pull this. Good. Now here's another issue that we have on the cello. We have lots of weight at the frog. When we get out here, we have less weight, right? So we have to do something. You know, if we have our weight here, something has to happen here to compensate. So what I see you doing is diminuendo, right? What if you were to think about, you have your arch here, da, da. If there's a little bit of an arch in the shape of the bow. You see how my arm does that? It does this. You can see my whole arm swing, and that's what, when I get out here, now I'm here. I'm not here. I have more connection with the hand. Yeah, so it's this motion. Do that without the bow once. Just do this. Yes, you see that? And now you should have, if you think about that shape, you'll have a lot more power. Yes, getting better. Getting better. I still want more, but that's a lot better. Can you find your arm weight here? Find your... You know, here's something I want you to do. It's so much better. Imagine, let's put your cello down for 1 second, because arm weight is very important. I want you to stand up, and I want you to hold your arm like this. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to drop it. Good. Do you feel the weight when you're holding it? It's just hanging. It should feel like you're holding it. You're a little bit like you're holding your arm up. I want your arm to just sink. Yeah, let the elbow come down. Drop it, drop it. You're holding. Yeah, now let it go. That's it. Sometimes I say this to students, and they go like this. You know what I mean? They don't have this is the feeling that you want, right? So when I have my bow on the string, that's my feeling. Most of the time, a lot of the times I see this, right? People are holding their bow, They're squeezing their bow, they're pressing, they're trying. That's not what you want to do. So make sure that you're used to that feeling. And when you start practicing in the morning and you're doing a scale, you know, you have, I feel, actually, let me just hear that note, and I want you to find that weight for me. I want you to feel that. Same feeling. Okay, so you did something. You got the weight, and you lifted your bow, and you went. I want you to drop, sink in. I want you to do some haunted house bow creaks. I want you to go like this. Feel that weight. You're losing the weight a little bit. Better? Yeah, do it again. Drop your, just clunk. I want you to do this. Do you mind if I help you? Yeah, just drop. Feel the weight here? Don't lose that. Can you pull against me? Pull against me. Pull back this way. Don't let go. Drop. There you go. See that? Now. Better. Good. Now show me your speed. Ah, that's beautiful. That's what I mean. These are the things that you need to do when you're playing. Okay, now I want you to play the first phrase for me, and I want you to give me the shape. Okay, very hard to do because I've asked you a lot, but. Good. So much better. You like that better? Do you notice the difference?
Yes.
Tell me what you guys hear. I'm curious, because you're seeing it from our end. What do you notice, or what do you hear that might be different than when she started?
We have
More weight. And so, what does that do to the sound?
I think the sound is much deeper and like more warm and round.
Yeah, deeper. She says warm. I like that word. This is when we talk about tone color. It had depth, it had warmth, it had roundness, you know, as opposed to like a surfacey sound. So that's one of the great things about playing the cello is the beauty of the sound. The cello is it's the most like the voice out of, I think, any instrument. It's the range of the voice, and it's got that incredible singing quality. So we need to find that. Yeah. Why don't can we keep on playing now, and then we're going to stop, and we're going to talk about what you can do in the phrases. You really have to think about it. What I would like you to do is maybe write some dynamics. You know, there are a couple markings here that I find interesting. A piacere, do you know what that means?
like ยินดีแบบรู้สึกดีรู้สึกยินดีอ่ะภาษาอังกฤษคืออะไรจุดยินดีอ่ะ
Proud.
like appreciate
Oh, I don't know. I can tell you what I
แต่
think
คือ
it
เขา
means.
ถามว่าเพลงมันรู้สึกว่ายังไงหรอหรือว่า
ไม่เขาถามว่าคำนี้แปลว่าอะไร
คำว่า
เมย์แปลว่ารู้สึกยินดี
มันคือคำว่าอะไร
Piacere. A piacere. Do you know the Italian? Okay, it means at your leisure. So it doesn't have to be so rhythmically structured. There's a little free, like rubato or freedom. At your leisure. So if you decide you want to move those notes, it doesn't have to be da 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 da. But that's a piacere. And I think what will help you with that is don't do the same bow speed. Then you can have more freedom in the sound. Okay, I want you to try again from the beginning with all your ideas. Think about your arm weight, think about your contact point, and try to do something with the phrase that you like. Go on, good. Yeah. Good. Now tell me about that scale that you have. What do you have written there?
Sorry,
What is written
this one.
here? You have, what's on the page musically? What does it say?
Leading to this.
It leads to this,
Yes.
right? And it says accelerando, and there's a big crescendo, and there's a forte. So da 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 da. Now, what contact point do we want for that top G?
One.
You want to do 1? Okay, good. Let's say 1B maybe. 1B. Yeah. A is the most. I don't think we want to crunch it. It's not fortissimo. So you could even say 2. Doesn't have to be all the way 1. But I think maybe this sound. And what else do you see that I'm doing here? What do you see I'm doing? Speed. Do you see how I'm gradually using more bow speed? It's not. And what about my weight? Do you see? See the weight that I get there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to try 2B. And you're going to be out at the tip. I want you to use the whole bow. Let's do that much bow, and then 1/4, 3/4. Okay, I'm being very specific about bow. This is called bow distribution. How much bow you use, and using your bow in different ways creates all of this. I know I'm being very technical about this, but once you have the tools to make shapes, then you stop thinking about it. Like my brain is not going full bow, 1/4, more bow speed. It becomes natural, yeah, the more you do it. Right now, I think you need to think about these things, depending on where you are. And the more you think about, the more you practice it, the more, it's just anything that we do. The more you work on it, becomes, eventually, over hours of practice, it becomes second nature. And your brain doesn't have to register, it just happens. Okay, show me the scale. But you have to do it, you have to think. So I want you to get the contact point and the weight. And you're going to use all the bow. That means this. And by the way, I'm explaining many things to you. So it's your brain is going to be on overload. I understand that, So I don't expect it to be perfect. But it's just in this situation to show you all these things. Then when you practice, you can think about them. Yeah. So show me this. Think about your bow speed. That's a lot to think about. Okay, you look a little this way. I want you to find this. Find your weight. You should be resting. You're not even holding the bow. The bow is resting on the string. Okay, better. What I lose is that weight coming in. You're holding your arm up. So da 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 da. Let's find the top G. Can you find here? Better. You hear that sound? That's forte. So you need to get back to this. You see how my arm comes back in? I don't do this. My elbow comes back, and now I have my arch. Remember the arch we talked about, the bridge? Da 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 da. Paw. Go from here, maybe start at the tip, find this. Okay, good. And contact point, you're doing great. Yeah. Okay, so what do you think she could do to get more sound at the frog?
เขาเรียกว่าอะไรนะ she said this and
Too high, yeah?
yes
Yeah. So one more thing I'll tell you. When I get up in the morning and I'm practicing, the first 20 minutes of my practice, I have a mirror in my studio. And it's not because I want to see how good I look in the morning. I'm not worried about that. At my age, it's not an issue. But it's about what I see, you know. And I can see mistakes that I'm making. I can see that I'm not relaxing my shoulder. I can see that I'm squeezing, or my posture isn't good. There are a million things. My bow is not straight. So what I want you to notice, if you practice in front of a mirror, right now we're seeing this. What we want to see is, and he was demonstrating very well, the upper arm has to come in and relax. So we start here. Again, this is the arch, you know, the arc, we're out here, but then as we come in, bring it in. Yeah. That's it. You see where your arm is now? Swing, back.
นึกภาพโค้งอ่ะโค้งเวลาสีอ่ะ
เหมือนเราเปิดมือออกอย่างนี้มันจะไม่ศอกมันจะไม่ยกขนาดนี้มันจะ
Elbow.
นี่
Elbow, yeah. Let the elbow swing back. So try again.
เอาง่ายๆคือเขาใช้ไหล่เขาใช้ไหล่มาทั้งแขนเขาไม่ได้ใช้แค่แขนบน
อืม
เขาใช้ทั้งไหล่มาลองดูมาทั้งไหล่
It's getting better and better. Better and better. Let's do it a few more times. Keep practicing. Actually, let's find the G first. Let's start backwards. Give me your down bow. Yeah, do you see where you are? Do you hear the sound? There it is. That's good. Do you mind if I'm going to put my hand here. Can you drop your weight? Yeah, so more.
ทิ้งไหล่ทิ้ง
Yeah,
ไหล่
that's it. That's the weight. You're not used to it. Good. Don't squeeze the bow. Just find the weight. Make sure that everything is loose. Yeah, feel the weight. Yep, that's it. That's it. And once you have the weight, then you let the string, let it ring. But this is where you need to be. We found it. You need to have, somebody needs, in the practice room, it says, wait. And then they have to feel it here, because you're still hanging up. You're afraid to do this. And the more you get used to that, the bigger your sound. Otherwise, you'll always have a very mezzo piano sound at the most. You know? Okay, so now you find that. Now you swing back out here, and you have to be able to go from the up bow to that. You have to find this, and then, and the bow has to stay at 2A, okay? You don't want it to slide up. It has to stay very straight. Can you find the sound here? That's it. So it's swing. It's almost in your hand like you turn a doorknob. You know how you turn a doorknob? Turn a
เหมือน
doorknob.
จับ
You
ประตู
go like this, right? So when I open that, not that door, but a door handle, right? You grab it and you go like this. So if you look at my arm, I've turned the doorknob. Now I'm here. A little bit pronated is the word. My hand is turned this way. Yes. So here is this, and you come back. So I want you to start. Turn that doorknob. And you're ready. Okay, it's getting better. It's getting better. There's a lot of things that you can think about to make this phrase happen. But I don't want to give you any more information, but we talked about how to get different tone color. We talked about arm weight. We talked about speed. We talked about contact point. And then we talked about shaping. So, and a lot of it is in the music. The composer says forte. They say crescendo. They say espressivo. They say dolce, which means sweet, or they say agitato, which means nervous, you know. So you have a lot of markings in here, and I didn't hear enough of your markings. You see this? You have, what does this say over here? I can't see. I did that. Meno forte, less loud.
Next.
Crescendo, forte,
Yeah.
then you have crescendo forte, and you have piano dolce. So like this section, what contact point would you like there? Piano dolce. Sweet. Yeah. No, 4. One is down here. So like 4 or 5. 4 or
Sorry.
5. Oh yeah, 4. This is my system. You could change it. This could be 5, right? You know, but let's say 4B or 4A, something like that. Yeah. Okay, how are we doing for time? Let me make sure I can hear everybody. 10:20. We should move on. Yeah. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who is next?
This arm did you are teaching this is same